we have set our fill for our user model, and we are about to register our new user. So before registering our users, some of the things are left. So then the custom fields that we have defined in our model, and just like a name, country, state, city, address, postal code. So when we have to create our user, so we have tell to the controller, our register controller, these are the fields that you will push into your database. Suppose, let me show you something. Here we are in our local application. So make sure that your server is up and running, and your database server is up. MySQL server should be up. Okay, so this is the form that we have customized in some of our previous videos. And when we push submit our data, so this data will use a route which is, let me call our register view uh, auth register, and here we are in register, which is in our resources, views, auth, and register file. So this, you can see the route is register. We are submitting this form to a register route. So we will shortly see the route of login, register, email, password, and password reset. Because these are the routes that we have created scaffolding, the Laravel has created for us, and we will see in shortly. Okay, this form is register, going to submit to this route, register route. And let me now close this and see this controller that we are using. So it will be in our HTTP controllers, auth, and we have a register controller. Let's open it. And when we submit our form, the request will be the here. This controller This controller handles the registration of a new user as well as the validation and creation. So new user registration and the validation of the form request, and the request object that we will get array of request from our form. So it will handle to create and validation. By default, this container use a trait to provide the functionality without requiring additional code. So this is the trait that this register controller uses. So we will see it in shortly, but I'll show you right now. So this control register trait is using a to show register form, which is our auth under auth uh, register dot blade. So this form is showing when we fetch this uh, function, and it is public function registered. The request will be goes and it will validate the request. And this controller, register controller, is using the auth guard, authentication guard, which is using a facade auth guard. And so we will see in shortly before. Okay, let me show you when we register our form, and let me die dump the request. This is now array, data is in an array which is coming from our farm. Let's die dump to kill the page and show the request that is in data, and the statement, save it, and let's come to our browser and give test Rana, give the password, and choose state, suppose state 1, country India, and Calcutta. Okay, and It is not required. Register date. So now when I submit the form, so it goes to the register route URI, and it goes to this register controller, and this controller, it's validating and creating its new entries into a database. So these are the fields that we have get, and you can see name, email, password confirmation, country, state, and city, address, and postal code, and this is in an array that is getting from so we have to add all the fields that we are submitting in our create function, and before creating we have to also validate these fields that we are submitting. So let's quickly do it. And okay, first one I will go to with the phone, and phone will be required. Okay, let's control L to select, control shift to duplicate phone, country required, and state which is required, city is required, and address which is required, post underscore code is required, and logo will be required. Okay, and, in a create function, so we have to given all the fields. So pose custom fields. Okay, first one is phone, and we will give in our, because it's a array of request, array of data, and we have to get it phone, and let control L select and control shift D to duplicate the lines. So control D to select the next one, so it will be country, control shift D to select the next one, state, control D select and control D to select the next one, city, address, post code, logo, and control S to save. So we have defined our fields that we are getting from our registration form. So one is the field, phone, country, state, city, address, post code, and logo. So here we are validating. I am going to just with one validation only are required. So there is a bunch of validation rules that we can see in a validation rule, and you can visit Laravel documentation and see what the rules that you have to require. So if it is a string, we can also give it the validate to string, just using the pipe sign and give the validation rule just string like that. And if we want to get the maximum or minimum min l- length of the string, so we can also define here like that. So I am using just a single a required one. Also we can see our email. So email required string email and maximum 255, and it must be a unique. So this is a email rule, and it is using a unique colon a user's model user user model, and its table is user, so it's getting its user to check the uniqueness of this email address. Okay, so I am going with the single validation rule, which is required. So the phone, country, state, city, postcode, and logo required. So save this controller, and if I show you the validation rule, if I scroll down, and here, so here are the available validation rules, which one that you can use. So accepted after date, alpha, alpha dash, alpha numeric array. So which one you want use? So there is a list of all the validation rules that we can use in applications. So numeric required, so required with all. So, and also the explanation is given start date, required date after tomorrow. So you can visit and check it. Okay. So that's it. And next video we will see our all the rules that the scaffolding when we created. So Laravel created, and which route is going to which route controller and what controller it does, and we will see it. Okay.